Hi, y'all. So, I'm a 911 operator, and yes, emergency calls are my thing. Like, I've been doing this for 15 years. I'm used to taking calls. However, when it's your family or your friends involved and you're there in person, it's a whole nother situation. Even on the phone, you freeze. Some people don't do well in emergencies when it's involving someone that they know directly, and I am that someone. So, I want to tell you a story about an emergency call that came through. It wasn't a direct 911 call. And let me tell you, I have stories, 911 calls that have come through with people that I know as well. But this is about my uncle and his surgery. My brother called me and the number was unknown. I didn't recognize it, but I decided to pick it up because, again, I pick up block numbers and all kinds of numbers because you just never know who's on that other line. So my brother explains to me, and before I go any further, I don't want to confuse you guys. So I have a biological family, and then I have a loving family, and my loving family is far different from my biological family. So you're going to have to bear with me. This is about my biological family. As you come along this journey with me, you will learn more about both sides and learn more about me. So my brother tells me, hey, your uncle needs surgery. And I'm like, what you calling me for? You got a whole sister over there. So he explains to me that my aunt has decided to not be involved. I was like, what do you mean? He said the doctor called and wanted to talk to her. And she said, oh, I don't want to be bothered. Who does that to their brother? You just abandon your brother like that? Anyhow, my brother tells me, hey, I don't know what they're talking about, and you need to call them and figure it out. So I go to the hospital to go see my uncle, who I hadn't seen in 20-something years, okay? And I get there, and there is a nurse at the foot of his bed. He's in the ICU. The nurse can't leave. Like, even if the nurse needs to get up and get a glass of water or whatever, he has to literally get, like, tapped out because you can't leave this patient. So I get there and I'm asking the nurse, like, hey, yeah, I'm here. What do you mean? Like, there's a surgery needed? So I guess you guys in the medical field on that side know more about, like, permissions for different types of surgery. And my best understanding from this is, like, what my uncle needed to survive, the surgeon could easily just go in and be done, and this will put you in a survival point. But long term is not the best. But for this extra surgery that he wanted to do, or procedure I should say, that turned into, you need to ask the family if that's what they want. And then I guess once he finds out that the surgeon found out that there was actually family to talk to, he couldn't go on with what he wanted to do versus what the medical, like, minimum or requirement is to save a life. So I get there and I'm talking to the nurse, and the nurse is, spewing out all these numbers, and I'm just like, So there's something you have to know about me. Emergencies, sick, in the hospital, someone dies, and I'm connected to you, I'm going to go hide. I don't like anything about that. So death, that's really bad because I'm going to avoid you. Probably I'll send you some food or what you need. Like, you just better tell me what you need, because otherwise, like, I'm not good in those situations. Like, I can make people laugh and tell stories and stuff. Like, you don't want to hear that when someone just, passed away, your loved one is gone. So I just feel totally awkward. So I just step back. I'm out of it. So anyhow, there I am there listening to all these numbers at, what? Okay. So the nurse says, yeah, there's no physical movement, but there's activity, showing me all the charts, and, oh yeah, brain waves and everything's working, but he's unconscious. Okay. And he hasn't come to since I've been here. All right. So I go over there and I'm looking at him like, again, I haven't seen my uncle in 20-something years. So it's kind of like, now I'm here making life-changing decisions for you. Like, some people are like, oh, if you got to go on life support, just pull the plug on me. I don't want no surgery. Like, I don't know what what he wants? Wait, I haven't talked to you. And now I got to make a decision? Whew, I don't want to be in that situation again. Anyways, so he's laying there and I go and grab his hand and I'm like, oh, uncle. And if you've known me since birth till maybe about 10 years old, you call me BC. That's what you call me. So I said, uncle, it's BC. Grab my hand if you know who, or squeeze my hand if you know who I am. So I feel a squeeze. And the nurse is like, ooh, did he just move? And I'm like, no, that's some involuntary movement. Like, no, like when people are bedridden for a long time and you go touch something and it just moves. Yeah, involuntary movement. That's what I'm thinking. And so he comes, start checking things and looking. And I was like, because I'm thinking, maybe I'm tripping and it's really him squeezing my hand. So I say, uncle, if you know who I am, squeeze my hand 2 times. Then I feel, like, wait. I think he understands. And I'm like, no, I don't believe this. So, now I'm like, okay, seriously, do you really hear me? Do you know that this is BC? Do you know? Okay, squeeze my hand 3 times. At this point, like, I'm still in disbelief. If I keep going, I'm going to have him squeezing my hand 26 times. Okay, if it's yes, then it's 102 times. Like, that type of stuff. So at least now we can communicate and I can tell him what's going on. Like, okay, I'm going to find out. Are you scared? He's like, I said, if you're scared, squeeze twice. And he squeezes twice. Like, yeah, he's scared. He knows something. He knows that stuff isn't right. He knows that he's here. So now my decision is uber important. I got to make the right one. And what is the right one in a situation like this? I'm going crazy. So the nurse calls the doctor. The doctor comes in. Now, let me just say something. And as you live life and you just learn about people's personalities and what people are good for and people aren't good for, it is what it is. So I'm going to say something, and it's not to be offensive to surgeons. I think, there's a list of really great, the best jobs in the world, like surgeons would be on that list. You go through all that specialty and, oh my gosh, just the whole medical field, bottom line. But surgeons, yeah, you really know what you're doing because you're going to go in there and cut and you did all this extra studying for your specialty, But I have found this. Surgeons are a little cocky. However, it's not in a bad way. Like, I don't want a surgeon that's not cocky. And I say that because I need you to be like, yeah, I got this. I know what I'm doing. How dare you question me? I'm a surgeon. I need that attitude when you're trying to save my life. Otherwise, it's kind of like, oh, you questioning yourself? Ooh, where's the next surgeon? Next, please, because I don't need you trying to, no. Yeah, so it's okay for surgeons to be cocky. It's just the personality trait that kind of goes with them. Now, if you surgeons are, there's a bubbly surgeon out there like, hey, how's it going? How are you? Yeah, I'm about to go rip your chest open and take your heart out, and it's going to be a great day. Then, show me who you are. And can I see that track record too? I don't know. Anyhow, so they call the surgeon. It's an older guy. He comes in, and of course, he's eating his apple slices. So I want to do this and I want to do that. And I'm like, what's going on? Like, what? And I want to do this and I want to do that. And I'm like, it's kind of like womp, 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 Charlie Brown, like, because I don't understand this lingo. Anyhow, so he explains it to me in the most layman's terms that what he can do is this extra surgery, but he needed, to make sure that the family wanted, because I guess it's a longer downtime, or he could go and basically put a Band-Aid on the problem, and my uncle's life would be, less time before the Band-Aid broke and they would be in the same situation. Okay, fine. He's like, so what you want to do? I'm just like, you ready to tell me that you're good with this? And I'm like, I don't know. I need to think. He's like, well, you don't have a lot of time. I have an opening at this time and I could do surgery. And yeah, I could save your uncle's life and make his life better. Okay. Well, here's my card. Call me and let me know what you decide. Just like whatever. So I'm sitting there still asking all these yes and no questions to my uncle. And I'm probably at, squeeze my hand 258 times to, make sure that he's lucid enough to understand what's going on. Because I'm here in complete utter shock. Again, I'm making a decision for a man I have not seen in 20 something years. Like, are you tired of living? Like, I'm asking that. No. Okay. So you want to go? Yeah. Everything. Okay. Got it. Good. So as I sit there, I pick up his card and I look. I'm so mad right now. Had you told me who you were, Mr. Surgeon, then we wouldn't even be this far. You could have. I would have been like, "Oh, are you ready? You want me to grab your gloves after you eat that apple? Like, what? You need me to scrub in to help? Like, what do you need from me at this point?" I look at the card and I see his credentials. This man is the director of his department. Like, he's the head of his department. Not only is he the head of his department, he is the man who teaches surgeons to be surgeons. So you the teacher, you the all of everything. Like, if any of these surgeons are good, it's because you had a hand in making them good. Like, hello, you should start out with that, like, I'm the director of this. Oh, okay. It's a whole different scenario. But anyhow, so my uncle had the surgery and yeah, he's doing well. You may ask, have I talked to him, seen him? I've seen him once since the surgery, and that's been 2.5 years now since the last time I saw him. And yeah, that's a whole nother story as to why, we're not. My life is a mess. Well, let me not say present life, but I have stories for you. Okay, I could have a full-time job telling stories about my life and what's going on. So anyhow, thanks for listening, and follow along for more stories because I'm gonna keep dishing them so you can know more about me. All right, have a good one. Bye.